Hi, this is Wanda, Black Women Travel. I'm joined today by Miss Kathy from Wellside Retreats. Welcome, Miss Kathy.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here, Wanda.
I'm glad to have you here. I want to talk about what we just went through together, the Black Women Travel Mastermind. So we started in January. Um, it was offered at the International Black Women Travel Jubilee that happened last December 2021.
Right.
And I'm so excited to hear about what your journey has been like over the last 12 weeks. So tell us about what brought you to the mastermind, please.
Sure. So, Wanda, after the Jubilee, um, there was an offering for the mastermind, and and I wasn't sure what was going to take place at the mastermind, but during the Jubilee, leading up to that time, I had planned on. I had already quit my regular 9 to 5 job, was working remotely, but I also um, wanted to work and create for myself a stream of income and become a digital nomad. And I knew that that's that's who you attract, people who are, of course, digital nomads. And this would be new to me, this new lifestyle. So I thought, what better way to move into this new lifestyle, but to join a group of people who are experiencing the same thing and learn the best way to move through that space.
And so, what was it like inside for you? So, you joined and you kind of had an idea, but weren't really
Mhm.
sure
Mhm.
like what it would be like. What was it
Yeah.
actually like?
So the mastermind for me was many things, but it was emotional support, um, um, and it was also I, it also demystified kind of like the fears that I was churning up on occasion, um, lack of confidence, doubt that I could go out into the world and create something and sustain myself. And inside was a group of women who were either in the same boat as I was in, or there were women who were um, also, I believe, seeking community to support them and to bounce ideas off of, and all of that in a supportive environment. So when I say supportive, um, te- there you worked with Tanisha, who also helped with holding you accountable for your feelings, being aware of how you were feeling um, in this new environment. And so that's what I found, and it was comforting. It was straightforward. There were there were no there was no shame, no no games involved. There was lots of laughter, and there were some tears also. And it basically met the humanity of these women in the group who are going through the same thing that I'm going through, or I was learning from. And I always think of, and I've been thinking of this lately, is I used to ask my children, how do you want to pick your friends? Who do you want to be your friend? What will they do? And I would always tell them, you want someone who is supportive, who will tell you um, uh, the truth, um, someone who will pick you up and pull you forward, but also someone who knows a little more than you do. And that's what I found in the mastermind. And I think that's what mastermind is all about. Um, and I found women who looked like me, who had families or not, people who were my age, younger or older. It was just a very diverse group of Black women who we bonded. So there was lots of great community, and these are people that I will continue to work with, and actually, yeah, met some of them in person. Yeah, while traveling.
That is the sweetest. I love that so much. There was the part you said about the humanity, and I feel like that's a major part. That is something that Black women aren't often able to be, is
Hmm.
human. And then I
Yeah.
love what you were saying about talking to your kids about picking their friends. Um, you had also said something really great about the difference of community and maybe having friends.
Hmm.
Can you talk
Yeah.
a little bit about that, please?
Yeah. As you get older, friendships come and go, they wane, or long-term friends who you think that you're going to be friends with forever, they dissipate because you are moving away from one another, or your life experience has changed, and you don't find that you have something in common with some friends. Some you do, but it's having community that is focused on similarities that keeps friendships together. And I'm going to call it the second book of life, not the second chapter, the second book of life. And um, I believe that in this book, I will be establishing new relationships, new community, and new friends. And it's important that we move through life with someone. And I mean, that's life. You have to, you are not born alone. You're not supposed to do anything always by yourself. You need support. Um, and because we all have something to offer to each other, friendship and community is important. And when you can find that, the commonalities in those groups, then you can live. You can live. Um, you can live and sustain your life. You can become. You can continue to be curious because other people challenge you in a good way. So that's why it's so important um, to know about friends and community, even in your second half of life. Um, Older people live longer when they're with people. It doesn't matter what age group. In fact, I'm inspired more today by younger people than I am with my peers because there's something new that I'm learning about society as of today through younger people. I do learn from older people or peers um, the wisdom that they have to sustain their lives. So, yeah, it's mastermind is important, in particular this mastermind for me who wanted to travel, who wanted to create independently of a corporation, um, outside of corporation, so I can be my own boss, so to speak. And that's what I've been wanting to do for years, and I'm finally doing it. And this group has been helpful for me to do that.
And I wanted to ask you as well about, how do I want to say it? It's like, so you got a taste of the lifestyle that you want.
Yes.
How did everything come together? So you took your sabbatical. So talk to us about that. When did
Right.
you leave? What was your experience like? You talked about trying to balance the work and the travel and
Hmm. Right.
being just present with your experience and like maybe taking a break as well. So
Yeah.
like share with us please about that.
Sure, sure. So I left in January of 2022 for a 3 month sabbatical. I've returned since. And what I learned was all that I had um, been planning and wanting to take this break actually worked out. I was surprised that I didn't have any bumps. I didn't have any problems. It was almost like I anticipated almost everything. But what I learned about myself is that I can trust myself. I can trust myself because I'm curious, first of all. I'm curious and I've always been curious, and things have always worked out for me because I don't live in a place of questioning myself as far as fear is concerned, and learning new things and learning about people. One of the other things that I learned is that um, I have a great sense. Well, I knew this. I have a great sense of direction. So I can get lost and feel comfortable. And that still happened when I was in Portugal. I was in Portugal for 3 months. And I I got lost, but I found my way. And this is me moving around in the city. I look for landmarks, things that are unusual, to keep me grounded. If it's something common, I pass it by. So there were so many landmarks that I could not get lost. There were so many places that were unusual to me. And that's what I learned about being in Portugal is that the architecture, the weather, just everything about it, I was hypersensitive about and moved through it easily. That was surprising to me. I was in Mexico City last year, and um, although I really enjoyed it, it it didn't have the differences, the things that would draw me in so much. Um, and that's what how I knew that I really enjoyed Porto in particular in Portugal, because there were things that were just amazingly different that I drew myself to. And the other thing that I will say that I learned about myself was that I um, I gave myself grace because I um, I didn't feel bad when I couldn't speak to people in Portuguese. I decided that, you know what, there's so much stuff to get through that I'm not going to feel bad about my limitations to language, because they know, I know, it's the truth. I don't know this language, but people were accommodating. It wasn't necessarily surprising. I was surprised at the grace that I gave myself. I was like, after probably about 3 or 4 weeks, I was like, you know what? It's okay. They speak English just like I do. I'm gonna be all right. So I gave myself grace to keep learning, but not being so down. I'm not gonna be living there, necessarily, next month or anything. There's time for me to learn. And you have to immerse yourself in a place in order to learn. It's like being a baby and learning a language. It takes about 2 years, from what I'm told, to truly be able to speak. So I'll be a baby, you know, as long as people allow me to be a baby, and then I'll grow up and be able to speak the language. That's how I put it. So I learned all those little types of things. I also learned that I had to be honest with myself, and there were some things that I didn't like, and that was the food that was served there. And so I cooked a lot. I didn't think that I was going to be cooking as much as I did. I cooked every day. It was one at least one meal out of the day, if not two times. I cooked more than I did. Um, I don't know. I can't think of anything that was so surprising to me that, it was an epiphany. It was like, whoa. It was it was I maybe it was the how I felt so comfortable. Let's put it that way. I felt comfortable, and I didn't expect to feel as comfortable as I did. Maybe that's what and that was great. So um yeah, that's what I learned.
I'm curious about what made you feel so comfortable there, like in all your travels. Like,
Um,
why?
it was peaceful. The people are they're not loud or rowdy. Um, they're actually a little quiet and subdued. This the Every place that I lived, I went to lived in three different Airbnbs, and each one was comfortable. They had everything. It felt like home when I came into those spaces. I didn't want to leave the first place, and that was in Centra. It was a loft, and it had a full bathtub. It was small. It used to be like a carriage house or something like that. And then the roof line to the loft where the bed was very low. So I could have easily been irritated by the fact that I had to hunch over or whatever, but I didn't because I laid in the bed and was comfortable. Everything was comfortable. Um, the other the second place I was in Lisbon, I was comfortable because it was a neighborhood. It felt like I was at home in a neighborhood. I became friendly with the people downstairs at the different shops. Some of them spoke English, some of them did not. Some of them had never met an American, in particular a Black American before. And it was a young man who said, "I'd never met anybody like you." And he was so curious. And I thought that was so interesting. And he let me know that his father was Indian and his mother was Portuguese. And they owned a vegetable fruit mart, right there on the street. But I got to know people, they got to know me, and they kind of watched for me. That's why I felt comfortable. The third place was the best place in Porto. It was a studio at the top of this building, and it was the furnishings were comfortable. They had great light. I had a great kitchenette. They had everything that I could use. It just everything felt like home. And there was a coffee shop downstairs. He had a dog. Me and the dog vibed. We were like, I'm a lover of dogs. He knew what I wanted when I came in. There's a cafe up the street. I met this beautiful family. They invited me to impromptu music sessions and concerts. They had a great menu. I mean, it was like how could I not be comfortable when people were genuinely friendly and nice and open to me being there? They were like, "Why are you here again?" They were curious. They went, "Why are you here?" What? I let them know I'm here because I want to be here. I want to travel alone, and I don't want to be in America right now. So, and I think they kind of got it. They didn't ask for any more of me, but yeah. So that's good.
Well, well, she
That's
said you better pick up on the context clues, honey. Read a newspaper or something, darling.
right. That's right. I wasn't gonna go into anything else
Right.
with them. Yeah, yeah. So it was
That
good.
is amazing. I love how you draw us in and you are sharing so much. So you
Oh,
all definitely go check out Miss Kathy's um her website and her social media. She was sharing like photos and videos and her YouTube channel, of course, um, of her experience there. And it's really like thoughtful. It's really immersive, like you're talking about. You really, it's like I feel like I've never been to Portugal, and I feel like I've been everywhere with you.
well, that's good. Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah.
really draw us in. So this is her website, wellsideretreats.care,
Yes.
wellsideretreats.care. So pop over to her website. You can find her on social media. Um, from there, sign up for her newsletter, get with her YouTube channel, all of that good stuff. Um,
Yeah.
Miss Kathy, what else can I ask you about? You've shared so much.
I talk a lot.
But it's all relevant. It's all amazing. That's why I don't even know if I should have prepared better.
Yeah.
um
I will say that I want, I'm going to take a part in the mastermind again because, as I said, this is the beginning of my new book of life. And I am creating a life for myself to sustain myself financially and to create things that I've wanted to create. Um, and I want to encourage people to consider your Black Women Travel um, Mastermind. Is that what it's called? That's what it's called. Yeah. And so, um, and if you're looking for community, you'll find it. If you're looking for friendship, you'll find it. Um, you know, I I don't know anyone outside of these groups of people that I've met recently in my own set of friends who do what I am getting ready to embark on. And so people are like, "What are you doing? And when are you coming home? And why are you, you know?" So it's like a lack of understanding because they don't people don't understand. I'm having to explain, and I'm explaining because I believe that other people, other women in particular, can benefit from this lifestyle. So I'll be doing a lot of explaining, but one of the things that I will explain to people is that there are communities and groups of women just like me and whoever I'm speaking to who should take advantage of a mastermind group such as yours. So that's what I want to leave everyone with. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
appreciate that so much. It's been such a pleasure to have you in the group. Definitely a fan favorite in the group, I believe.
Yeah.
If we were going to do a voting, which
Oh,
that's
stop.
why would we do that? But everyone brings something special, and it was such a pleasure to have you for these last 12 weeks.
Thank you.
And thank you for inviting others. And I want to, you watching, I want to invite you too. There are current 5 available seats open for the mastermind. So we
Oh,
have 5 filled and 5 more
okay.
waiting for you,
Okay.
probably. So you
Mhm.
can go to the website, blackwomentravel.com. That's TRAVL.com. And you can go to Black Women Travel Mastermind, or you could just find it on the homepage and be whisked away um, by magic, by internet magic. I'm really excited for our next cohort to start. I'm excited about what you're going to produce. You're talking about changing a few things. And so,
Mhm.
and I
Yeah.
know sustainability is something that you brought up. You want to make sure that it's sustainable. You want to make sure that, you're not making a little bit here and a little bit there, but that you have something that can feed you so you don't have to worry. So I want to dig into that. Absolutely,
Yeah.
especially this next round. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Thank you so much, Miss
Thank
Kathy. You're amazing.
you. You are too, Miss Wanda.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes,
We will
ma'am.
see y'all out there in the internet streets. Don't forget to connect with Miss Kathy. I'll put her website up again, wellsideretreats.care.
Yes.
Um, and if you're interested in the mastermind, go to blackwomentravel.com and you'll find the mastermind through there. Okay. All right. Well, we will see y'all out there in the internet streets.
Bye.
Bye.